Good morning once again. We have some technical difficulties, so we're going to try it one more time and see if we can get it to work. All right, I think we are live on Facebook, and I'm going to make sure that we're good to go on YouTube, and we will move forward. All right, we are in business. So we'll get this party started today. Once again, welcome to Coach Steele's Finance Training, where we talk about all things financial literacy. And so I'm interested to hear about some of the things you would like to talk about. But on today, we're talking about how to manage a lump sum of cash. In that comment section, what would you do if you had a lump sum of cash? What would you do if you had someone just blessed you with an extra $40,000, $50,000, or your job gave you some type of bonus? Like, what do you do with that money? We know it's the holidays coming up. People can travel, people can buy gifts. You have this money, you don't want to blow it, you don't want to make a mistake. And of course, I didn't introduce myself. I am Coach Steele, your host on today here on Coach Steele's Finance Training. But you don't want to blow it, you don't want to make a mistake. So what do? Today, I'm going to give you some tips and some ideas on things to do so you don't just blow through that extra cash, you don't blow through that money and make a mistake. And so I have about 5 pointers for you on today, and then we'll be on our way. My church that I attend locally here in Liberty County is doing a food giveaway on today. And so I'm excited to go be a part of that. So I'll be leaving here to go be a part of that food giveaway in less than an hour. So make sure that you're giving back and helping others that are less fortunate during this season and every season as well. So point number one on today, let's see here. Let's get to point number one. I want to almost hit the wrong button, y'all. Almost ended the live. I was about to cry. Point number one, build or strengthen your emergency fund. If you've been tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Training for a good, decent amount of time, I always talk about emergency fund. And there's debates on like what that emergency fund should be. I won't spend a lot of time on this point just because I know I have different beliefs from what the normal is when it comes to emergency funds. So most people are going to tell you, and one thing that you'll hear is basically set aside 3 to 6 months of essential expenses depending on your job stability. A lump sum can instantly create the financial cushion most people take years to build. So when you think about that, 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. Now, here's the debate on the emergency fund. Should it be 3 months? Should it be 6 months? Should it be for a year? A lot of people, the consensus is if you have a contract job and you do contract work, then you probably need about 6 months because you never know when it comes to these contract jobs. Some people have another census, and I lean, some people say have 3 months. I'm okay with 2 months if there's other exceptions at play. So I am a firm believer in making sure you have cash flow, not just depending on your regular 9 to 5, but have other options of cash flow and streams of income coming in. So whether it's real estate, whether it's dividend stocks, different things like that. So if you do lose your job, if you do lose that 9 to 5 or that main way you make money, if you have streams of income coming in, then you may not even have to touch that emergency fund. And by that, you can use the other streams of income to maintain and sustain you until that other income picks back up, until you get that next contract, until you get hired again. All of this is important right now. Why? Because people have been laid off, people had furloughs, people are getting their jobs back now. People who have been working but not been getting paid, now they get these lump sums of money, and it's like, okay, well, I was sustaining myself during this time frame. So what do I do now that this job has given me all of this money? Maybe I got a signing bonus to get on at a job. What do I do with this money? And so you have to be very calculated and strategic in this season financially of November, December, January, and then we have tax refunds coming February, March. Be strategic to help you catapult yourself to where you want to be financially. So I would only set aside 2 months, but that's because I have passive income coming in from other things. So I may not even need to touch my emergency fund. So I don't want to oversaturate an emergency fund and have tons of money sitting somewhere that I don't even need and is depreciating in value because of this silent money killer called inflation. And so when all of those things come into play, I like to be strategic. But for the average person, I think 3 months is pretty safe. If you had to recover from some medical issue, that's pretty safe ballpark. If you needed to try to find another job, 3 months is a decent enough time to get back on your feet and find another job. If you have a long-term disability and maybe only getting 70 or 80 or 50% of your income, that emergency fund will hold you over. But there's nothing wrong with doing 6 months. I would just rather take the extra couple months of money and put it in a real estate investment or some other uh, asset that is going to pay me money monthly that will really actually allow me to build up my emergency fund even faster without necessarily having to use my base amount. I'll let some of that emergency fund money build another emergency fund and create cash flow at the same time, which is why I believe in making your money multitask, which is why you can also go to my website and buy a shirt. I have beautiful shirts, and the shirts represent my mentality and my lifestyle when it comes to our finances. I'm a firm believer in making your money multitask. What I just mentioned there about not oversaturating my without oversaturating my emergency fund, I can make my money multitask in other places. So make sure you go to my website, and my website is down at the bottom of the ticker, and you can get you a shirt so you can have that mentality and also wear it as well. All right, so that's point number one. Far as take some of that money. If you don't have an emergency fund, build that emergency fund up to the right amount. And for example, let's say your expenses are $3,000 every month. For you to maintain your household, everything, eat, breathe, utilities, transportation, food, you name it, 3,000 a month. Well, then you take that. If you want 3 months of emergency fund, 3,000 times three, you need $9,000. If you want six, then you take 3,000 times six. That's $18,000 you need worth of emergency fund. Some people say you should have that amount of your expenses, and some people say whatever your monthly income is, you should have that amount as the emergency fund amount times three or times six or whatever it is. So you do what's best for your family. Here's another important thing, and this next point gets pretty tricky as y'all are listening in on this, because I know people have different opinions about this. Point number two on today: pay down high interest debt. That bad debt, like credit card debt, that's 15 to 27%. That's what you want to do with a lot of that lump sum of money that you get. Another good idea is to pay down debt. Now, here's the thing. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Depending on that lump sum, it's possible to go invest in an asset that you can buy at a low price. And of course, I'm going to use real estate as an example. I love investing in real estate. If I had $20,000 worth of credit card debt, but I can go buy some real estate for $50,000, but it's worth $100,000, and maybe I, can fix it up a little bit or whatever the case may be, I can sell it. And now when I sell it, I make a profit of, let's say I make a profit of $20,000. I can take the profits from there, pay that debt, and still not lose my lump sum of money. Or I can invest that lump sum of money to pay me monthly, whether it's 300 a month, 500 a month, and pay that debt off that way without eating up my base amount, my lump sum of money. So that's another thing that's debatable as well. You can be creative with your lump sum to help pay and eliminate that debt. So you can use the interest or profits to pay off debt as well. So you do want to evaluate that. If you aren't sure, you can definitely reach out to me, email me, Coach Steele's Finance Training. You may have some debt that you want to pay. You have a lump sum of money. You're not sure if you should use all of it or part of it or think about investing some of it. Definitely shoot me a message and we'll look at it and evaluate it and see what makes the most sense. And so some people who have a lump sum of money. They may have had to pull money out of their retirement accounts. They may have not started a retirement account. And so, step number three is invest for long term wealth. You may want to take some of that lump sum money and start investing for long term wealth. So, that's something else you want to look at and consider spreading the cash into different things. It may be ETFs, index funds, retirement accounts, whether it's IRAs, 401ks, TSPs. Regardless, the goal is to catch up, get on track if you can. Or you can, of course, do real estate, like I just mentioned. And real estate is another way of building up that long term wealth. And y'all are doing awesome so far as y'all are hanging in there on today. Um, we're already on step number three, and we only got two more to go. So y'all hang tight. We are going to get in there. Another thing you can do, and I tell people this all the time, I put the link in my description box. You can always check the description box and click on the link. But anytime you have a lump sum of money, you don't want to just sit it in a regular checking account or regular savings account. You want to sit it in a high yield interest savings account where it's on steroids, where it can make, 3.5, maybe 4% interest, as opposed to no interest at all or less than 1% interest. And so definitely sit that money until you decide what to do with it. Sit it in a high yield interest savings account where your money can multitask and make money for you. And of course, I have in the description box a high yield interest savings account, FDIC insured bank, where you can open that account. Of course, as soon as you put at least $50 in there in the first 14 days, I think they give you like $25 or $50. And so that's some more free money that you can put to use or go buy some cryptocurrency with, whatever it is. You decide. All right. Let's get to number four. And remember, guys, when it comes to investing, you don't have to invest it all at once. You can dollar cost average. Here at Coach Steele's Finance Trainer, we talk about DCAing all the time. And so it should be a mentality, a way of life, not trying to time the market all the time. That's not safe. It's not advisable. And number four, this is important. Protect yourself with insurance and future planning. And so you all in the comment section, you can name the different types of insurance that is important to have, but you want to make sure that you protect yourself. That's the next thing. With that lump sum of money, you want to make sure that you have a plan for it. You want to make sure that your assets in your life, which is an asset, is protected as well. So whether it's life insurance, health insurance, disability insurance, estate planning, your will or your trust, those are the things you want to make sure that you have in place as well. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, and let's see. Last thing we have on the list is number 5. Allocate a portion towards personal growth. And this one is big. This one is huge. Let me make sure I put this up for you all as well. This is vital. Allocate a portion towards personal growth. Don't you run through that lump sum of money. I need you all to be very, very strategic. I want you to invest in yourself and certifications, high income skills, business ideas, courses, coaching. If you need coaching and mentorship, you can connect with me as well, because from that mentorship, from that coaching, from that guidance, from courses, you can grow, and you can also create more lump sums of money from that. Invest in certifications, high income skills, business ideas, courses, or coaching, building tools for a side hustle, a side business, an LLC. These can turn a one-time lump sum into ongoing income. Do you hear what I'm saying? I wish I had more time with you all today to dive deeper into that, but I'm going to go ahead and jump off. Like I said, we have some food to give away to the community. I'm excited about being a part of that. I want to hear your thoughts on here, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll go back and read them, and make sure you come back at 5 o'clock today, Coach Steele's Finance Training. I'm going to be talking about evaluating real estate deals. And so I'll give some simple scenarios. That way you all can give feedback. We'll do some math. Make sure you have a pen, a pencil, a paper, and a calculator as well. We're going to have some fun at 5 o'clock. Thank you all for tuning in once again to Coach Steele's Finance.